Emperor has chosen you as our envoy to the living lands. That wild frontier suffers from the dream scourge. Find the root of this terrible plague and put an end to it.
He is wrong. The dream scourge is but a symptom of a deeper, more dangerous rot. Go, tame the chaos that plagues the living lands, so that those who remain standing can shape its future.
They both deceive you. There is more wonder in this world than eyes alone can see. You must open yourself to its mysteries. Tend to its purpose, no matter how wild. And become what the living lands truly needs. Its protector.
Our combat brings the best of the moment-to-moment fun that comes with action-oriented gameplay and the depth and breadth of choice that you get with an RPG.
We want to give you the freedom to mix and match your loadout to fit the way you want to play from moment to moment, uninterrupted. For all battles, you can combine a variety of weapons, attacks, and abilities for tactical advantages against a wide range of enemy types. Abilities, powerful melee attacks, blocks, parries, and special attacks. It feels quick and snappy when dealing damage to enemies at mid-range. Using the Tanglefoot ability, you can stop enemies in their tracks, giving you the opportunity to focus on weaker or tougher combatants in an intentional and controlled manner. Some units are extremely defensive, some are brutishly difficult, and others you must make sure you prioritize or their healing capabilities will put you in a tough spot. We provide customizable loadouts that can be quickly switched during combat. Equip a sword and shield and charge into battle. Dual-wield pistols and control the encounter mid-range. Or even dual-wield wands to feel like a gunslinging mage. You could use your enchanted wand to freeze enemies, and then use your offhand weapon's power attack to shatter them.
Some quests in Avowed will have you make difficult decisions with profound consequences. Like this side quest you may encounter in Shatterscarp, the third region you'll explore on your journey through the Living Lands. As you're exploring, you come across the bodies of these fallen soldiers, and as you explore the remains of the battle, it's up to you to determine who, if anyone, is at fault.
Just the four of us. Manu, Kiri, Naoki, and me. Training under Captain Ruiki, trying to keep Thirdborn safe.
In other words, you're a gang of vigilantes. Not that I'm one to judge.
Here, take my badge. Take everyone's. Our families deserve to know we fought and died for them.
My squad and I rested in the cave by the water last night, and as we were sleeping, we were ambushed by those miserable Zorips. I was so surprised, and it was so dark. I just got separated from everyone else. Look, I can't face those monsters alone, but I have to know if anyone else made it out. Of course he did. Sergeant Asui never has a thought he won't say out loud. So what did he tell you? That Captain Ruiki was sick? That I was paranoid? That I was a dumb baby? I heard it all often and loudly. Wait, if you found Sergeant Asui, why is he not here with you? What happened?
At the end of the quest, you have a choice. When you confront Private Naoki, if you believe the story he's told you, you can hand over the badges and let him go back home.
You're right. Real battle isn't something you can prepare for, is it? It's not my fault. No, they should have never have camped in the cave. I'll take the badges. I'm going back to Thirdborn.
Stair, which is one of the regions you'll get to explore over the course of the game. We're not too far along, but we have here a lovely nighttime scene. I think this region in particular looks fantastic at night.
Very stunning.
Yeah, thank you. And here we have some Sporlings attacking Yatsley, who is going to be one of our other companions.
And you were charging up like your bow and arrow there, and then you're also kind of trying to slice your way through what looks like some very thick top-heavy swirling armor here.
And you're right, we are struggling a little bit.
Yeah, they're giving you a run for your money here.
Yeah. We'll fix that. So part of the problem is we've just transitioned out of an earlier region, and so we haven't upgraded our gear yet. So if we look like we're struggling against these little mushroom guys, it's because we haven't upgraded our weapons so that they're really up to par with the enemies we're going to face here. So there's a lot of hacking and whacking, but we'll fix that in short order.
Oh, fantastic. People, I was about to lose my wits. You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you?
So this is still fairly early into the game, too, the setting of Emerald Stair.
Yeah.
Nice. And then we have Yatsley.
Yeah, she's a wizard. She's very fun. She's a little risque in a way that I think makes her a lot of fun to talk to. She's got some very good banters with the other companions. But yeah, she's just a little lightning ball of a lot of personality. I noticed with a couple of those that we had a little symbol at the front of those options. So as this is an Obsidian game, some of the options available to you are dictated by choices you make at character creation, choices you make as you level up your character. So some of them are tied to specific attributes. Some of them are tied to specific backgrounds that you choose at the beginning of. Here we're really getting to know her as a character, and so we're just kind of choosing the tonal direction of this conversation.
Yeah,
she's a little. Yeah.
She says you're tall, striking, and well-toned.
It is like she's flirting with us.
She is.
What would happen if we pass the conversation check for the flirtation option, which I assume is this first one?
If you keep encouraging her, she's going to climb you.
Careful, darling. I already have a lover. A good one. Skilled with his hands. He always carries a ladder.
She rebuked me.
Oh, no. Well, you know what? Maybe we keep trying. But
Dialogue check.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, like, visually speaking, like, I think this is the first time you all are also showing, like, gameplay at night, right?
Yeah, so we do have a dynamic time of day, and
okay.
our
I didn't think I knew
environments.
that. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, have some very lovely looks at different times of day. We've definitely shown a lot of daytime footage. We've shown some gold that makes up souls and the essence that is ambient in the ether.
Quite controversial in the world.
Yes, it is, which is something we get into in this region. But yeah, so this is a little enclave of animancers who are kind of free to study, outside of the the watchful eye of any larger authority here in the Living Lands. But yeah, what it means aesthetically is they have this really lovely equipment with this wonderful purple glow that just looks great at this time of evening.
Yeah, 100%. Looks like we're heading into the party camp. Can you tell us a little bit about what this area is and its significance for the player?
Yeah, so party camp is one of my favorite spaces in the game. It's both your narrative hub and also your upgrade hub. We can see here, I'll just call out.
Third person, yeah.
Yes, we do have third person. A lot of the footage we're going to see today is in first person, but we do have a third person option for. And it's also where we can upgrade our gear. So we've got our party stash where we can stow a lot of extra equipment. We've got our upgrade screens, and here's where we're taking some of our older gear that we picked up in the previous region, and we're going to upgrade it so that we're better equipped to fight the enemies here.
Yeah, sporlings.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're coming back.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going to be way better. But I want to touch back on what you said around the banter around with your companions. I've always found that, like, in those kind of camp areas in games just in general,
Was this sense that, you're adventuring and exploring together through this big wilderness, all of these different landscapes, and party camp is this quiet space where you can all kind of know each other and kind of dig into their different personalities, their different eccentricities. Some of it's going to be a little more somber as they, kind of reflect on different events that y'all have seen, different things y'all have gone through together. And then, yes,
I know in my heart the decisions I want to make, but absolutely the more connected I get to certain companions or characters, they can totally influence by their judgment,
that's
their
a good point.
cool judgment. Yeah, so I'll sometimes, start to actually take that into account, but also picking up some new skills, which you can do in this party camp kind of downtime too.
Yeah, so you can upgrade your skills and abilities anywhere as you level up throughout the course of the game. That's one of the things we're doing right now. So on certain level up milestones, we'll get to upgrade our attributes, which we just did, and on every level up milestone, we'll get to pick a new ability. So in this playthrough, it seems like we've got a couple
We're not only stronger, but now we can actually progress in the environment in Emerald Stair.
solutions in combat, but also solutions in exploration. And so, there's almost always more than spells, weapon enchantments, sometimes even your companions who can, use their environmental abilities to help you get through barriers like that as you build the character you want to play.
Okay, so now that we're coming out of the camp, we've upgraded our equipment. We've upgraded our swords. So theoretically, these guys should be easier now.
Yes, and you'll notice it's taking fewer hits to bring him down. Yep, they
Get
go
outta here.
flying.
Look at him. He barely stood a chance.
Yes, we've got some nice blood effects as we're slicing through them.
Yeah, so is that like new animation as well? New sound effects and animation as you're kind of upgrading your swords and other items?
Yeah, we want to make sure that players are getting clear feedback as to when their gear is effective and when maybe they need to go back to camp. So it looks, it feels, it sounds different when you're playing with appropriately leveled gear.
And this guy's a little different looking.
Yeah.
What's his deal?
Little spikes.
So this is a caster. So, you know, all of our enemy families will have different unit types among them. And we've seen a lot of these little melees. And we have a few other unit types who we haven't met yet, but we're going to try to take this guy out because he's a little more dangerous than the small guys.
Yeah, taking a few more hits than them.
So when you build up enough stun on an enemy, you can kind of queue up an attack like that that does a lot of extra damage and will also, if it doesn't take them out outright, it'll at least give you some distance from them. So
Some hidden things?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a very fun mechanic to be able to build content around because, like you said, you can really reward your curious players by hiding a lot of secrets, a lot of fun, a lot of storytelling and nooks and crannies throughout the levels.
And we did just pick up that godless vase, so we've got our item that Yatzli's been asking us for.
Yes.
So can you remind us too, as we're looks like we're approaching her now, actually. So what we're kind of exchanging here?
Yeah, so Yatzli is a scholar of the godless, and the godless are the ancient people who used to inhabit the living lands. They are not recognized as worshipping in their art any of the gods of Aora that people know of. So she wanted this artifact as, you know, part of her studies. So even without a ladder, we were able to fetch it for her.
Oh, and we just saw a quick flash of ourselves, actually. And we are, actually, if you could explain too, because we are godlike.
Yes.
We are almost the opposite of Yatzli in that way.
Yes.
So what does that mean in the world of like the universe in general and why we look the way that we look here?
Sure. So in the world of Pillars of Eternity, a godlike is a member of any Kith species whose soul has been touched in some way by one of the gods. You can play as a godlike in Pillars 1 or Deadfire. In Avowed, you are definitely a godlike. So this is a quest that takes place along the Crit Path and Emerald Stair. So you can tell we're still in the same overall region. So we're working with one of the animancers in the town of Fior, and he's going to help us he's going to try to help us diagnose what's going on with the living lands. But in order to do that, he needs the heart of an Adragon. And an Adragon is essentially a nymph with, you know, sort of the skin and appearance of Adra. And he needs, you know, the heart for the essence that it contains. So he's sent us into this glade to go retrieve this heart. This glade is inhabited by a bunch of Delamgon who, as you can see, are a lot more dangerous and a lot more aggressive than the Spoilings we encountered. You know, Delamgon in the world of Pillars are fairly territorial, so we're kind of bringing this on ourselves. He did warn us that they wouldn't take kindly to us just marching through their territory, and we might have an easier time of it if we can avoid conflict, but conflict's also fun, so in this case, we're just, you know, swinging our sword and going on in.
And you're right about them being a little bit harder to take down. We are definitely having to utilize everything in our arsenal here to take them down.
Yes, yes. And you're seeing a few different unit types here. We've also got casters. These have some very long kind of whippy arms that they can get us at a medium distance with and a little area of effect attack. But they do eventually go down. But like you said, it takes more work.
Yeah. Now we're approaching what I'm assuming is a very special character. Can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, so this is the Delamgon Queen. She has the Adragon heart, and I'm sure she'll be super cool with how we just mowed through her followers. What could go wrong?
We had to do what we had to do, right?
Yeah,
but
She's queen of no one now.
That's right. We'll take everyone out, right? Oh, let's see what she says.
But wait, no.
Yep, she can sense what we've done, and she's not happy about it.
So many of my kin are dead by your hand. The time for words has passed.
It's a good thing we like fighting because we're going to fight some more now.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello.
The backup forces have arrived. Looking at here, this is us kind of respecing kind of how our character plays, right?
Yes. So if you find that you want to try out a new suite of abilities, if you want to approach a particular piece of content like this one in a different way, you can respec. And you might have seen popping up at the beginning of the screen here, there is a cost to doing so, but if you're willing to pay it, you can try out a whole new set of abilities. So what we're doing now is we're speccing into a lot of ranger related abilities, and I think a couple wizard ones as well. So the most important one of these is Shadowing Beyond, which is a level 5 ranger ability. And what that does is it gives us the ability to essentially kind of open up a rift in the here, which is the physical world, and travel through the beyond, which is kind of the invisible spiritual world, in order to move through the environment. So what this means is that as long as we don't engage them, these characters can't see us. And as long as we keep our essence meter up, this ability will remain active. So this one is constantly draining our essence, which is the soul energy that we use to power our special abilities and our spells. You can see we're passing some cover grass as well, so if we wanted to be a little more conservative with our power usage, we could duck into that grass, kind of watch the patrols, and avoid using this ability quite as much. But in this case, we're going to use it to get to this little safe nook right here.
So if you're an expert stealther, you could possibly do this section in stealth without that ability.
Just
if
with
you're
the
good,
grass,
just
sneak it around.
the grass.
Challenge accepted, right?
Yeah.
And here we're re-upping on our potions so that we can
Health
build up
and
that
essence.
essence.
Exactly. So yeah, we're going to continue. And we've also found a little side route. So this is a little side path that you can see still has some enemies in it, but for a player who's very careful and either willing to use that cover grass or, willing and able to use Shadowing Beyond, they can get through without causing a ruckus.
So if you fight this Sporling, will the others be alerted to it, or could you get away with like one kill and then?
It depends how close they are. So they do have a shout radius, but it is not infinite. So if there isn't anyone close by, and if you're pretty fast, you might be able to get away.
Yeah,
but
like
you can
that.
see there's
Yeah.
one right
Yeah.
there. So
You never know who's hiding in a little nook.
Right?
Exactly.
I'll kick that one off the cliff. Probably. It's like, get out of here. But I'm excited to see players how they tackle it, because I'm sure there are going to be people who decide not to use the essence at all and really want to show their mastery of that stealth aspect. And so here we are heading.
It's always a trade-off, right?
It is.
Do you want to loot all the dead bodies,
Right.
or do you want to take the peaceful path and possibly open up some other dialogue options, which tends to be how I play.
A welcome visitor. It has been so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove.
In this case, the Dalamgon Queen has recognized that we haven't killed all of her followers. And so there's a little more of an opportunity to talk with her. She recognizes that we are godlike. She might even recognize what kind of godlike we are. But yeah, in this case, she will give us the heart willingly, and she'll allow us to leave the glade peacefully, because we chose.
And she's quite an ancient being, so there's a lot that she knows. You mentioned that, she might even know where we come from.
She might, yeah. Of course, the thing is, Dalamgon they're, like you said, they're very ancient. They're not really part of Kith society, so it's hard to get too many straight answers out of them sometimes.
There's some vagaries in there, but enough to kind of pique our interest.
But then she gave you the heart and she said, take it and go in peace.
Yeah,
and there you go.
We came in peace and we left in.
Avowed is an adventure into the heart of the living lands, a frontier at the edge of the known world, where you must put a stop to a mysterious spiritual plague and discover a secret at the heart of the living lands. No other. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's strange. It's one of the most incredible settings in the world of Aora.
We found inspiration in a wide swath of real-world cultures, helping us create a unique RPG experience. By contrasting the vibrant with the dull, or verdant spaces with sickly ones, we can better deliver complex emotional experiences for our players. From luxuriant forests to volcanic wastes, and each of those regions itself is a conflux of storied landscapes. As you're wandering the wastes of Shatterscarp, you might notice off in the distance a vibrant jewel of color. By transitioning from destitute, muted tones of a wasteland of sand and marching in towards a beautiful oasis, there's the opportunity there for life, for adventure, and even a little danger.
People don't like you very much, do they? Sent here to the living lands by an emperor who couldn't bother to come himself. to investigate some plague that seems to be corrupting our very souls. You want us to trust you. But the truth is, you scare us. The way you fight. The power you wield. The secrets you keep. You're either here to save us or destroy us. So now that you have all this power,